Hey everyone, welcome to Pickleball and Beyond. My name's Ryan.
My name is Vino.
And today we are reviewing the J2K and J2K Pro by Honolulu Pickleball Company. So make sure to stay until the very end of the video because we're not giving only a J2K away, also a J2K Pro. So we're giving away one of each of these. So make sure to stay tuned till the end to hear how to enter. So we were both super impressed with the J2 when it first came out, and it was awesome to see these new Kevlar mixes coming along. So let's hear your initial thoughts on these two paddles.
They have built on the J2. Honolulu Pickleball Company, I've been really impressed with all of their lines. From the get-go, they are targeting a wider audience, right? You have a paddle for everyone, and they're kind of building on, I would say, the most popular one, which was the J2, right? You're getting that arrow shape, right? So the big difference between the J2K and the J2K Pro is the weave pattern on the surface. We'll show some pictures on the microscope. This has a larger weave, and this has a very thinner weave. The Pro has a thinner weave. And what's funny is it does play different.
It does make a difference.
Yes, it does make a difference. So let's start categorizing these.
So both of these paddles, we're gonna throw into the all-around category, with the J2K Pro leaning towards that power side, but it retained enough control that I don't wanna call this a power paddle, where the J2K is more, it has a little bit more control to it and falls off just a touch on the power, meaning I would slide that right in the center at that all-around paddle.
Why don't we jump straight into the control?
Absolutely. So, like I said earlier, the J2K in particular, it was a pretty awesome amount of control, and like you said, it's that weave difference, right, where it had a slightly longer dwell time, which made it easier to control, as well as a slightly bigger sweet spot we noticed compared to the J2K Pro. Both of those combinations led to drops being a little easier, but for myself, I was actually hitting drops out of the box a little better with the Pro because I'm used to applying a little less force on the ball. With the regular J2K, you do have to move your arm a little bit to hit those drops. It's not like this paddle does the work for you. It's like ultra soft, where once you learn to control that, it has that extra level of control to the paddle.
And let's throw it out there. The differences are very subtle.
Right? Yes, these are minimal differences.
There are like some characteristic differences, but like all three, they play very similar.
Yes,
right?
these are very subtle differences.
Yes, you're not going to pick it up and suddenly, oh, I mean, it's a huge difference, right? I mean,
fractional.
this and the J1H, huge difference. So it's very fractional. So all of them have that control. And even when we were measuring it, it was so close. So that one comes at 112 swing.
J2,
yes. This comes at 110. This comes at 113. At that point, it's just human, like use error itself. But when you looked at the twist weight, that comes around 6.6. This one comes at about 6.9. There seems to be a little bit of a bigger this thing, and this comes at about 6.8. So on the twist weight side of it, it feels like, you know, they have made it a little bit more gradient, where like the sweet spot a little bit more centric on this. But this, as you move out, you're still feeling a little bit more forgiveness. And I felt that on both these, when we were doing the pop, and we'll put that video out there, when you hit and there was some off center, you still had that same effect. You know what I mean? So I did appreciate that about these.
Yes, definitely grew that sweet spot, especially the J2K was certainly bigger than the J2K Pro.
We felt that there was more dwell on this.
Absolutely.
There was more power on this, there was more dwell on this. So this was like you said, a little bit more control, a little bit more towards the power side of it. So let's talk about the spin. How does it compare with the J2, and like how was our progressions as far as spin goes?
Yep, so the J2K Pro, I noticed, was a slight step up from the J2, but they were very comparable. But once again, the J2K actually outshined the J2K Pro in this category, where I think it was mainly that little extra dwell made a significant difference. We were seeing so much spin with the J2K. Again, these both got a lot, but the J2K was something else.
And it was really funny, like when you hit like those hard drives or hard serves, you saw spin here. But when you were really looking at that, you know, slow cutting ones, and still the hard ones as well, you saw a ton of revolutions from this, which was really interesting. And we got other people trying as well, and like they immediately like, oh wow, there's a lot of spin on this.
A lot of people, that's their first comment when they tried the J2K.
There's so much of spin on that. So let's translate that to the power side now.
Yep, so that's where the J2K Pro definitely was the #1 out of all of these. Again, fractional differences here, but when I was doing like a full swing, you know, it definitely was coming off just a bit hotter than the J2K. The J2K, I would say, was actually really similar to the J2 in that category, where it was just nice to see that extra step up in this option with the J2K Pro. Not that this was lacking by any means, but in both of, or all three of these paddles, they're not at that top tier, right? Because they still have plenty of control. That's why we considered all of these all-around paddles, right? But what I love about them is like anyone can use these because that power, it's not like you're playing with like a Ferrari that you can't control, right? But it gives you a you know, a quality amount of power.
And for me, when you were hitting with this, if there's any difference between this and this, even the off-center drives, you caught this. And because of that topspin, it stayed low. Okay, what I
the topspin was certainly better on both of these paddles.
Compared to that. And I think that was like that. If we are to like draw the line and say, hey, what was the difference? That's how I would kind of categorize that. Adaptability. We love this shape. We have started enjoying this shape. So let's talk about adaptability and what kind of players would love this kind of paddle.
Again, I absolutely love this entire lineup. Anybody can use these paddles. Ben Johns could use this paddle, and somebody playing for their first time could use it. I mean, unless you're looking for like an oddly specific, extra long handle, I mean, you could still fit a Tui on the back. It gets a little tight. But so that's maybe something that would draw some people away from it, or if you don't like the arrow shape, or if you're looking for edgeless. Outside of that, I mean, anyone can use these paddles.
Hint, people liking this shape and want a little bit longer, they're actually coming up with one of those paddles. Soon we'll do a review on that. So they're catering to all the kind of needs, right? And exactly what you said. There are some people that want that longer handle, and it's actually on its way. So we'll soon do a review on that. And I like how you said, like, you know, it's one of these paddles that you can easily pick up and play no matter you're a beginner or you're kind of an
And all three of these are, again, super maneuverable, right? And I absolutely love that. From the kitchen, I felt very, very fast with this paddle. And I just love that, again, it's not lacking in anything, right? It's not gonna take first place in anything, but it's certainly like towards like it's doing a fantastic job at everything it does. There's no flaws to this paddle.
I think you hit that nail on the head. This is a very maneuverable shape, right? At 110, around the 110, 112 mark, they are very quick in your hand.
The shape always gets good numbers.
This shape gets excellent numbers. So J2, usually it runs 145. It's on sale for 99, so definite steal if you want to pick up a great paddle. Phenomenal paddle. This runs for 155 and this runs for 165, and we have our 10% code. Use that code and you'll save some money. Phenomenal paddles. I think priced pretty well. You know, you're not going to go wrong with these paddles. Hey Ryan, we've been really enjoying giving paddles away. And like we mentioned at the start of the video, we have 2 paddles to give away. Very excited. One J2K Pro, one J2K. So what do we need to do to get these paddles? So in order to be eligible to win either of these paddles, you'll have to make sure you drop a like on this video. Drop a comment as to why we should select you to win these paddles. Which paddle would you like to have? Drop it in the comment. And then you also have to be a subscriber. So we're also currently doing other giveaways as well. Make sure to check out those videos here. And this giveaway will be ending on May 24th, so make sure to get entered before then. Please subscribe. It really helps build our channel and continue like growing and trying to put out content. We like helping people get paddles, and that's the reason we started doing this channel. So please comment, like, and hopefully we'll see you in another paddle review.